Yo, Wagon Samaraj, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Koined Insights. Please, if you haven't already, hit subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow up on all the podcasting platforms because these conversations have been really, really, really amazing so far. Anyway, today I am joined by another friend. Wow, I so much talented friend I have.
It's crazy.
Hey,
It's crazy.
hey, my friend, them talented bad.
Season one is
Strong
mad.
start.
Very strong.
Honestly,
start.
I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for season 2.
Yeah, forget Ramesh. That's the only place he can go now.
Ramesh, bro God,
Yeah, man.
President of the United States.
Right.
Clearly. Yeah, but today we have my friend. He is a super talented individual. He is a storyteller. He is a musician. He can do everything but dance. He is, one of the most innovative is not the word. Out of the box individuals.
Chaotic. Guys.
Chaotic is the word that I know. But he is my good friend. Please help me welcome the one, the only, Ramon Murray.
That was a very big welcome.
Hey, the word welcome big. Everything just want to mash up.
Everything just mashed down.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Love that. So, sir, how you doing? What going?
You on the honest answer?
Yeah,
or
man.
on the TV answer?
Chaotic answer, give me.
The chaotic answer? I'm tired, but I slept very long last night. And I feel like my body's like, we're catching up. So this is just
The
step one.
the deficit has shortened down
So
a
I
bit.
need 4 more nights like that, and then I'll be good to go.
I think I might have added to my deficit last night because I literally went to bed instead of. So my wife put me on a little face routine. You wash your face,
Oh, you
something
have the
there.
serum them
The
way to do
syrup,
it?
yeah,
Watch
man.
there.
Yeah, man.
Hey, married life sound nice, you know?
Hey, man, I lie. Man, them get married. You see me? But don't do it. Anyway,
When it's time.
When it's time, in its own time. Yeah, man. But she put me on this, on one little face routine, and normally when you go to bed, you put on like a moisturizer. When I went to bed, instead of putting on the moisturizer, I had to put on sunscreen.
To sleep?
Yeah.
I'm not going to dig any deep on that. She's right.
I've had coffee and a Red Bull already.
She's right.
Yeah.
It's for your bed. It's for.
No man. No, the routine is not that I put on sunscreen, The routine is in the mornings I put on sunscreen.
Oh.
When I wake up and I go see sun.
But you went to bed so late.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. You just put on the sunscreen.
Right. As the man that I am,
Right.
me just go skip the routine and just go to the next
So you
one.
merge the night and the day.
There we go. That is what I did. You see me? Anyway, I could move into some icebreaker now. Even feel like the ice kind of broke already.
It's water.
No, that's melted ice, not broken ice. I forget the thing. Yeah.
Or it could be ice starter.
Ooh. There we go.
So let's start breaking it.
Yeah. All right. Coffee.
You know the answer. It's coffee. Whatever the next thing is, guys, it's coffee.
All right. I'm going to make it challenging for you.
Okay.
Coffee or amaretto sour?
It depends on the time of day.
Okay.
It depends.
All right. What about it is 6 p.m. You haven't slept all day, meaning that you've been up since 2 a.m.
Right.
and you just came off of a huge project.
Amaretto sour.
All right, cool. Why? Amaretto sour.
Amaretto sour. I want something. I don't want something that is gonna make my brain. It's like let's keep working.
But you have more work to do after you feel like get into.
Yeah, man. And I know that it's not gonna be another late night because anything that happens after 1 a.m. will not be
Got you.
something I'm proud of.
Got you.
And so if it's 6 p.m. and I'm gonna work again, my brain need to start shutting down by like 9, 10. Anything that happens after that, I know I'm gonna look at it the next day.
And be like, I hate this.
I hate this.
Got you. All
So
right.
might as well feel good.
Cool. If it is that you could breathe, I don't know why am I giving me that? No,
Just
we're
go
not,
with it, bro.
we're not use a question there. We're not use a question there. If you could run fast or fly, which would you choose?
Do I burn calories if I fly?
It's a good question. I'm pretty sure you have to burn some
Right.
form of energy if you fly.
Then fly.
Fly, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just jump.
No, well, no, fly for the plot.
What plot? Like, bring me into that plot.
Okay, because I'm thinking if I run in and I run out of calories, I just stop run. And then I'm good. But if I run out of calories in the sky,
You fall.
you fall. But I'm just like, but I feel like that would make it more exciting to know that there's an end.
You're always skydiving. If you're not
Right.
out of calories.
And so now it's not just flying, but it's learning how to fall well. Yeah,
Favorite social media platform?
YouTube,
Why?
because they pay people.
Other platforms you need to get on that Zoom. Or the girls them say
They
get
pay
on it.
people internationally.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So let's just jump straight into it. You talk to me about a journey from being a wee lad.
Okay.
No.
How we
Wee.
guys, I wanted to just know at this point, this is about to be a very chaotic episode. Okay. I just want you to know that. So just buckle in. Just lock in. You're here with us now. You've gotten this far.
Commit. Just commit.
And just commit.
Just commit. And well,
If you told somebody, Asu come, tell them I'm not coming again.
just commit and also hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh.
So from us a wee.
Yeah, man. Talk to me about your professional journey, because I can't even say one stream based on your story. I can't even say like your journey through marketing or your journey through, this that.
Yeah.
Like, just how have you gotten from, when you've realized, I need to actually start, being an adult, to where you are now.
Okay, well, to give some context to everything else, I think I need to start where a lot of great men's stories start. There was a girl, and I really, really liked this girl for years.
Yeah. How old are you?
I knew this girl from I knew myself
Got you.
because her parents were
From
friends.
your conscious of
Right.
yourself.
But I never knew what the feelings were. I never knew what like was
Right.
until maybe like high school, them time there. But then other guys like this girl,
Right.
and so she ended up in relationships, and I
okay.
was her friend.
Right.
And so I would see these relationships, and so in my young mind, I was just like, I need to become more like these guys
Right.
that she liked. And so for me, that was being active in sports, that was playing instruments, that was singing. And so at a very early age, I realized I'm pretty good at learning stuff very quickly. And so that Ramon now grew up. Me and that girl realized, yeah, man, we should really just stay friends.
Right.
But all the things I learned to impress her were still with me. And I was like, wow, this friendship is paying off. It's paying off big time. And so coming out of that now, going from high school to university, I remember getting to UA, not wanting to be at UA originally, but saying, since I'm here, let me make the best of it.
Yeah.
I was doing my degree in accounting. Well, I did my degree in accounting.
Right.
But I knew from I started it, I didn't want to do it. I got into UA for law. And then I switched to accounting because then I started to realize how many books
you have
were
to-
on the book list. I'm going to say,
Every time I meet a person in law, they're like, you don't have to read that much. I'm like, whoa. First of all,
why I have to read?
that is it.
Why I have to read?
See, y'all got to this level of like your baseline is like so high.
Right.
It feels like it's not a lot. You get me? But anyway, continue.
Yeah, and so, which is crazy because in order to get the accounting degree, I had to do company law and business law.
That's
so,
hilarious.
Anyways, but it wasn't law. But the point is, at the time, I was just like, Jano, this is enough reading. So I switched to accounts. And I was like, well, since I already doing what I don't want to do, I might as well make the most of this UA experience. And I remember when I was choosing universities locally, I wanted a university that had a gym, that had a pool, that had a music program, that had something in the arts I could do. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to become an accountant. If I do, then okay, cool. But I want to use this time because I know that university is going to be my last opportunity to be in such an amazing position to network. Going to university, you're meeting with future politicians.
Yeah.
You're in groups with persons who are going to be social workers, who are going to be economists, who are going to be traders, who are going to be journalists, who are going to be lawyers. Like, I'm seeing all of these people on campus every day.
Yeah.
And then my lecturers are people who are already operating in these fields. And so I was just like, this is not school. This is a networking opportunity. And so my time at UA...
I wish I thought of that.
Well, maybe you liked what you were doing. Okay, moving on. And so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and audition for Pop Society. That's its name? I don't know. There's something where them sing pop songs.
Right.
Popular songs. I auditioned for that, and then I saw some ad on the UA, the union page, the student union page, saying, hey, we're looking for people to sign up for the PCC committee, for the guild, which is the publications committee. And I was like, okay, what kind of people? So I read in the post, and they're like, graphic designers, and they're like, okay, we want people in video, in photo. And I was like, well, these are all things I'm super interested in. And I would have dabbled in them in high school, but I never took it seriously.
Right.
It was just like, oh, this person wants a flyer. I can learn things quickly. I must can learn how to make a flyer. And I know how to use Microsoft Publisher, cool. And then by the end of high school, I would have learned how to use Photoshop. But I never interacted with another graphic designer in my life. So I had no way to gauge how good I was or how bad I was. I was just like, I understand the program, cool. I was already doing music, so I was like, okay, maybe if they have a shoot, maybe I can help out with sound or sound design or something. I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. So I went to the first meeting. At the first meeting, I'm in this room with a bunch of creatives, a bunch of people I follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. There's so much talent here in the space. And I'm just like, oh, sick. This is the perfect networking opportunity. But I did shy. Some of us did not account my business, you know. But then Shavan, I don't remember his last name right now, but great guy, super talented. I think he lives in LA right now. But Shavan was in charge. He was PCC at the time, and they had just finished a book for the guild. And I was looking at the book and I was like, wow. And I remember I was talking to him with some design recommendations. And he was just like, you know your things them now? I said, yeah, I know a little bit. But I don't know how good I am.
Right.
Because I have no point of reference. Well, it so happened that I became graphic design director for the PCC.
Whoa.
and then after a while, like anything that would need to happen for the guild, they would send it to me to design it. And then I remember I had designed something for some committee, some subcommittee. And Shavan calls me like a week later and he's like, Ramon, the guild is asking for your invoice. I said,
Invoice? What's that?
Invoice for what? He's like, for the designs. I said, you gonna pay me to design? He's like, yes, Ramon. I said,
wow.
How much I must charge? He said, I don't know how much you want to charge. And I think I got like $15,000. But to me at the time,
money.
What?
Money.
And I said, yo, mommy kid.
Yeah.
Mommy.
One design?
Mommy,
15 grand?
15 grand.
University?
What? And I said, I'm gonna do this every week. KFC every day.
Yeah?
Every day.
Every day.
What do you mean? I'll let them deliver it from the top of the road, come down and juice.
Yeah, man, you can't say, yo, my boss.
Go start this. You see me?
Yeah.
So then I think that was the first time I was just like, oh wow. I can maybe fund my life from being a creative. The next year came Patrick became PCC for the guild. He was Shavan's second, and now he was PCC for the guild. And so he's like, Ramon, you don't know the forward again. And then I became PCC for my faculty, for social sciences. And so I think that was my first step into being a professional creative. And not only that, but being in a leadership position as a professional creative. Looking back, I don't think I did the best job. But I think we created some amazing content. And then that led me to In my final year of UE, I started working at a signage company. And then from the signage company, I left and I was doing my business on my own. So that was the early days of Murray Media.
Yeah.
But Murray Media never really defined. It was just...
Oh, we just realized something. Forget for introduce Murray Media as well.
Oh,
But
guys, Murray Media is a
Yeah.
company that I own because...
birds.
Oh, I thought it was an earthquake in our PTSD. Murray Media is a company that I own. We specialize in content creation and content strategy. And we're really good at helping people solve storytelling problems.
There we go. Continue.
Yeah. So that was the early days of Murray Media. I actually did a course the semester before I left that signage job. And in the course, we had to do a business plan, and I wrote the business plan for Murray Media. But when I just left, I had none of the equipment, none of the connections, none of the things to actually follow through on the business plan. And so I was just doing anything, any jobs that came my way, I was just I'm going to do it. To the point where I was tinting windows. So all over the place. I don't know how I got there, but, money that I have to make. And then from that, went to One Great Studio, then spent four years and change at One Great Studio, and then Yellow. And then now Murray Media is going on full time.
Yeah. And how's that been going for you?
It's been going. It's been going. You know what it really is? It is seeing the areas of yourself that could be limitations for the business. Because the thing is, when you work in a corporate entity, there are people there who have to make it work regardless.
Right.
And so when it's your business now, there's nobody there. I am the backup plan. I'm plan A, B, C, all the way to Z.
Yeah.
And any other letter you want to come up. We might go Greek alphabet too.
Right.
You're all of them.
Right.
Right? And so a lot of areas that were shortcomings for me in the corporate world, Murray Media has shown them up to myself. And so I've seen in myself the limitations. I've had to address things that I've maybe been avoiding for years.
Lower the mic.
I've had to address things that I've maybe been avoiding for years. This should be a clean cut. I'm not going to cut it, guys. Omar is not cutting this at all. So I have to watch what I say.
All right. All right, cool. So, accounting, tinting windows, all around creative. Because you don't touch about half of the things that we do.
No, because all I'm
we don't have enough time for that.
We don't have no time.
I know Murray Media. You had made mention to writing out the business plan for Murray Media in second year UE. And I remember we were on a shoot recently, and the owner for Island Grill, we were interviewing her.
Miss Taylor Ali.
Right, and you're making mention that she was the one that made a presentation that time
in that same class.
Right. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, wow, full circle moment.
So many of those.
Full circle moment. Which is a testament to really and truly following the plot.
Yeah.
Doing it for the plot, following the plot. Guys, if you don't know what that means, continue watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But just literally just keep on going. But speaking of plot, talk to me about why you want to why is that Murray Media specializes in storytelling, and then talk to me about the importance of storytelling.
Why does Murray Media specialize in storytelling? I think as humans, storytelling is something that transcends cultures. It's been with us throughout time. It is the way we learn to understand the world. When a child can't fall asleep, you tell them a nice bedtime story.
Right.
When you try to get somebody to understand a complicated topic, you frame it in a story. When you're writing a song or you're composing music, you're thinking of how it builds, how it crescendos, how it diminuendos, the different elements and how they blend together for how it's received. And so I think a story is an intentional way of crafting a unified message in a way that's easy to be received. And the thing about a story is you don't have to outrightly say, this is what we believe in,
Right.
or this is what we want to accomplish. No, when you tell a story, you give context for what's most important. And then in the story, you show instead of tell how you approach these different situations.
Right.
And so now the person listening to the story gets to interpret in their own way how that response makes them feel, how that response in turn will make them act or react, which is why a lot of times when we're trying to get children to learn complicated moral responses to the outside world, we tell them in the form of a story.
Yep.
And so a lot of these bedtime stories will have like
Big Bad Wolf,
Right.
Hansel and Gretel.
which then doesn't tell the child outrightly, hey, don't be
Don't-
mean, don't be
right.
a bully.
Don't eat
But
from
it shows
straight
them what consequences can come from it.
Right.
It shows them the effects of behaving negatively or positively. And so they come to the conclusion on their own. And when you come to the conclusion on your own, that means that you have already justified it to yourself.
Right.
Nobody's forcing it on you. You watch Inception, where they just like, you're that kind of tough still, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to tell somebody don't think about something and
Right.
go think about it at the same time. But then when you frame it in a story, which is what they did in the movie, they let the person come to the conclusion on their own. And when you come to the conclusion on your own, you're way more likely to hold tight to that belief. And so the reason more media specializes in stories is because it's so much harder to tell somebody what to do over and over again. Buy my product, click the link.
It's also annoying.
It's so annoying.
It's annoying. But
That's why more and more I scroll message.
Stop. Don't talk to me. But yeah, no, tell me that story because I'll be like, oh, wait, what? You said what about who? You know, it's literally one of the reasons why gossip is so
Right.
big. You
Right.
know, news travels like that because news is literally just another form of storytelling.
That's it.
You know.
That's it.
So talk to me about why is it important for businesses to invest
In their story.
in their story.
I think they know. I go say it, but I just want to say this part first. I think businesses know why it's important. I think the challenge really comes when they have to make an investment in it. And but telling someone a story, there's an assumption that they're gonna make the right decision. And businesses like security. They like to know that because we did this is gonna happen. And therefore, when it comes to the decision making about what to invest in, it's hard for them to justify initially to invest in telling a story when they don't know that the consumer is going to make the decision they want them to make.
Got you. So, I don't want to say how can I convince. Welcome, babes. You can't come in the pod and look so nice. Come here. No, come
Married
here.
people
Come
things.
here, no. Come here.
Married people.
People, switch to the wide cam. Switch to the wide cam, please.
Show this.
Why you can't show it?
I'll tell you later. Just go on. Watch the show.
What else you gonna tell me later?
Goodbye.
I'm sorry. Where was I?
I don't know. I don't know. You're telling me a story.
Yeah. You're saying that businesses struggle with it's essentially the initial buying into the story, which is hilarious because a lot of times, we as agencies we try to pitch to a potential client
With a story.
With a story. Some of us don't. We just try to get to but I don't want to, what I was going to say. I don't want to say how can we sell businesses into buying into stories or into storytelling, which comes in many forms, but more of you touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper about the
Importance.
not just the importance, but what it actually looks like for a brand in the real world. So we in our preacher we had started to go into the whole user experience and how much that is important to the overall interest of the business. So walk me through how, branding, storytelling, and user experience
All tied together.
all tie together.
I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm so glad. Well, my time at One Great Studio.
Corporate Ramon is now coming in.
Hi. My time at One Great Studio really taught me the importance of a specific concept that Javane Brownie, big up Javane,
Big up Javane.
would really emphasize in all his conversations when putting stuff together, and that's the user journey, which is the storyline. You get me? And so all those different elements he mentioned, the brand, the logo, the campaign, the products, the lead funnel, they're all a part of this user journey. And so how it looks practically is looking at, once again, there are many terms for it, but looking at that user journey and thinking about where in this storyline do we introduce what? And when it's introduced, what is the reaction that's going to happen? How does it make you feel?
Yeah.
Does it tie into the overall story? All of these different elements affect the way the consumer feels or makes their decisions at the end of that funnel or at the end of that journey. And so what does it look like practically? It looks like giving a lot of thought to who your primary customer is. And now that's going to lead to your branding.
Yeah.
And so now when you're thinking about your primary customer, a lot of clients that I've dealt with in the past will initially come to me and say, I want to reach everybody.
No.
And I'm just like, well, you can reach everybody, but who is it that's the most important to you? You know? Because the thing is, if you reach the people who are most important to you, they will talk about you to everybody.
Yeah.
Because they'll say, wow.
Everybody has at least one friend.
Right.
And that friend has a friend.
Right. And if you really zone in on that person and tailor the story to them, they're going to sing your praises everywhere.
Yep.
And word of mouth is so much more valuable than any paid advertising. Because if I come to you right now, Omari, and say, yo, I go to a bar the other day, and the man make me a bad Amarita sour, Omari.
I gotta try it.
I don't have to show you no picture.
I gotta try it.
I'm not have to send them Instagram.
I'm ready to try it right now.
That's it.
We're going
That's
right after this episode. We're going.
Right. And then even if you go there and your experience wasn't as good as mine,
I got you. You got me into the door.
right. And then you'll be able to look at the experience and say, I completely understand why Ramon had such an amazing experience. And you'll still buy from them. You might not have as an amazing experience as me.
Right.
But you go there and say, I get it. I see how this story got Ramon.
Yeah.
Because this makes sense.
It makes sense for Ramon.
Right. But it don't mean that you won't be a customer as well.
Right.
You know?
But it could also lead into how can you serve that person?
Right.
Because you're like, all right, we captured this primary market.
Yeah.
This primary market love Amerita so, but this market over here,
Maybe a whiskey sour.
So it's just a small change,
Right.
same service,
Right.
small change to then capture a wider. And that's I see what you're saying about, yes, you can target everybody, but who is your primary audience?
Who's the most important?
Because from the primary audience, you build the stability, build the foundation for your business, for your core community, and then from there, that community will then build a community that will then come to you.
That's it.
You know?
I love that you're answering your own question. I think another thing too is being honest with yourself about where your brand is. Because if you're being delulu and you're telling yourself, no man, everybody love my brand. I have the best products. My prices make sense for what I'm offering.
Right.
And that is not the case.
Right.
Then your story is false. But I also think there's so much value in being authentic and being honest with yourself. Because I don't want to call a name, but there are two restaurants that have very similar menus in Kingston, and one is right across from the other. And one of them is definitely the go-to for most Jamaicans. Worldwide, any Jamaican come to Jamaica, they must say, man, I have to stop at this restaurant. But the next one, it's not there,
Right.
but it's like 0.5 below there. Like if the first one is at 10, this is 9.5. And I don't think they're trying to be like the 10. I think they're just being themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, once the line at the first one is very long, I said, boy, I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. And I also think people appreciate that. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of these podcasts are happening around the same time. So I was here for Joel's podcast. Sorry if I ruined that for you.
That's fine. Yo, check out Joel's podcast on Koined Digital Studios.
There you go.
Koined Insights.
But even with that, I think something Joel was saying, Jano, I lost it in my brain, but it will come back. Something that Joel was saying, right? Something Joel was saying is that consumers are bombarded by so much information right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're being inauthentic, we know.
Yeah.
We're going to know.
Yeah.
And so might as well be honest. And then I feel like a brand that is honest about who they are is a brand I'm going to want to interact with because I feel like you're not going to lie to me about the product I'm buying.
Right.
But I think we've been talking a lot about how the brand appeals to their external customers. And I think another big part of that story is convincing your internal customers of that story.
Talk to me.
That's your team.
Yeah.
That's your staff.
How do they buy into the story that you're trying to put out?
Right. Is your external story consistent with the internal story? So are you out there saying we care about people and growth and all of these things, but then internally
no growth.
No growth. You have Miss Sandra in the same position for 8 years.
Yeah.
And Miss Sandra want more money.
Yeah.
And Miss Sandra want to learn new things.
Because Miss Sandra have 3 pitney.
Right. And you're not
all
Miss
them in
Sandra.
high school.
And guess what? You might feel so Miss Sandra is an isolated thing, but everybody in the office know Miss Sandra.
Everybody know Miss
Everybody
Sandra.
comes to Miss Sandra.
Yeah.
And then you want everybody excited about, hey guys, we have this new product.
But what happened to Miss Sandra?
What happened to Miss Sandra? The people inside to the advertising, and they're not just inside, because they also are friends.
They're also
outside.
customers.
And when them vex with you at work, who you think them vent to?
Miss Sandra.
Right. Right. And them vent to them neighbor and them church sister and all of those things come back to affect your brand.
It's from the inside out.
Right. And so I think the importance of keeping a consistent story externally is just as important internally. Because it shows in the way that you deal with your customers too. When people interact with people from your business, they're gonna see, this lady seemed like she don't really like working here.
Yeah.
And I know every case is special.
Right.
You know, some people have a lot going on in their lives outside of that.
Right.
But I think it's important to make every effort for everything to be succinct. Where were they? Half an hour now, though?
About that, we'll have some probably about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Let's just pivot a bit. Pivot. Let's just pivot a little bit. Oh, we have less than 10 minutes. That's fine. Let's pivot a little bit to the more hands-on aspect of, the user journey, the design things. So when you're creating your graphics, because you mentioned that you would have been doing graphic design for quite some time now. Talk to me about some tools, some resources that up and coming, graphic artists and designers, storytellers may need to be aware of.
Okay.
And then after you do that, just run straight into how it is that what kind of mindset they need to have in order to grow.
Wow. Okay. Tools, designer specific. I'm just going to give you a long list of stuff. You guys can take notes from it if you want.
Write that down.
You're going to need freepik.com, pick with a K. Texturelabs.org, very, very valuable. These are resources that you can use in your actual edits. I also think you have Graphic Burger, you have Envato Elements, you have Motion Array. They're trying to build out the graphic side right now. Probably not the best investment of your money, but you can go there and see what's in the library for free before you invest. Unsplash for stock photos. Pexels, which is like pixels with an E. Pexels.com also for your stock photos. Yeah, those are good resources to download assets to then use. For fonts, you have Font Squirrel, you have Da Font, you have 1001 fonts. Also, if you want to get fonts, you can type in the font in Google and put the name of the font in double quotation marks and then put GitHub behind it, and you should be able to find it as well. Because then when you put something in Google in quotation marks, it's looking for that exact word. So whatever in quotation marks is going to look for that exactly. And so font files are usually saved in OTF or TTF. And so if you put in the font file name .ttf and put it in quotation marks, it's only going to show you results that have that actual name. And sometimes it links to the actual font. That's not legal every time, so just make sure you read the fine print wherever you download it. But no, you know.
Arg.
Right. And then also, other resources. Boom. For inspo, you can go to Behance.com. That's Adobe's portfolio platform. You can go on Pinterest, which has been less reliable for me lately, but I still think there's value there. I also think you can go back to FreePick and just type in what you're looking for and see what other designers have done. You have Dribbble. Dribbble is mainly UI-based, UI, UX, so that's for web designers and web developers out there. Dribbble with 2 Bs, 3 Bs, one of them, 3 Bs. Other design resources. Instagram is pretty good too for inspiration. I'm not going to name any specific designers, but I follow quite a few. And then what I do, when I see the stuff in my feed and I like it, I just save it to a graphic design collection.
Got you.
And then I can reference it whenever. And it also helps a lot when I have a new client and they don't know what they want, because then I can just
send them
the collection.
Got you.
And they can go through and say, "Ooh, I love this," or "Ooh, I like that." And it really helps to convert a verbal conversation to a visual conversation, which is very valuable for designers. So those are some awesome design resources. What was part 2 of your question?
Mindset.
The mindset as a designer. Don't take things too personally. I remember when I was starting and clients would give me changes, it would really, really hurt because I put a lot of myself into what I was doing. And so now you telling me that you don't like it or to change something is like you're telling me that
I need to change.
Right. You're telling me that I was wrong about my story.
Right.
That I was trying to tell. But something you have to remember is that you're not telling your story. You're telling their story.
Got you.
And so you have to put yourself in the mindset of, okay, who are they trying to reach? Okay, who are they? Does this speak to who they are? If somebody sees this logo, or if somebody sees this flyer and then meets this business, whether it is the owner of the business, somebody working for the business, or they see the product on a shelf, will they be disappointed with the final result?
Right.
Based on what you presented to them in this design, or in this video, or in this photo. And so I think that took me probably the longest time to learn in this creative field, was removing myself from taking things personally when I got feedback.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things that a lot of creators and
Yeah.
creatives struggle with.
Especially when you're doing it for corporate. I mean, it's awesome when you get the 1 or 2 personal projects that you can do, where you get to explore and work with your friends and everything is what you like and what's exciting to you. But the truth is, the majority of the time, that's not the case. And I think that's something else that I'm really grateful to One Great Studio for, because that's really where Javane sat me down quite a few times and said, "Ramon, this feedback is not about you.
Yeah.
But it's what's best for the user journey."
Right.
And I think he really drilled it into me when I was there to remove myself from the equation and think about the target user. If we got into the nitty-gritty, we would have talked about developing brand personas and, the different age groups. And
I mean, if people want to talk more about that, we can have you back for season 2.
Or you can book a consultation.
Or you can
with
book a
me through
consultation with
More
More Media.
It's $100 an hour right now. It might raise by the time this come out. 100 US, by the way. Thank you. So I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind. And, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't care about what you're doing.
Right.
But I think you have to remember who it's for.
Right.
Yeah. And not everything you do going to end up in your portfolio.
True.
That's the next thing. Enough work I do because I have rent for pay.
Yeah.
Enough work I do because I did want to go out the next weekend. I'm going to say, yo, I have to finish this.
Or you have a girl you want to take care of, impress.
Right. I say, yo, my talk in the DMs was strong,
I've got to come out strong.
I have to come out strong.
Yeah, man.
You see me? So I have to make sure, say, yo, it might not be the most exciting project, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my best job.
Yeah.
And my best job is not always what I would want to put in my portfolio, but it might be the best for the story. So you have to follow through with the plot.
Yeah, follow through with the plot. Follow through with the plot.
Follow through with the plot.
Follow through with the plot. What's a single? I was just about to do it. I'm gonna do it. So, Ramon. What's the single best piece of advice you have gotten
In life?
in life, design?
You know, this is the actual answer, guys. But I'm going to follow through with the plot. You know, when I was working at my first job, the signage company I mentioned, when I resigned, I had an exit interview. And the owner for the company sat with me and he said, you know, Ramon, I envy you. And I was just like, brother, look how much people you pay. Or if you envy me, I'm not reaching nowhere.
Right.
Look how you drive. The BMW look very crisp, very new. And I knew what his house looked like. Very crisp, very new, very demure. You see me? And so I was just like, I was so confused when he said that. And he was like, let me explain. He was just like, you know, I think you're a very smart young man. And I think you're going to go on to do great things. But right now, the possibilities are endless. All you have to do is grow. That's all you have to do right now. You just have to grow. And you will. And so that's an amazing place to be in. You don't have a wife, no picnic, no responsibilities holding you down. You just bought your car. That's probably the only thing right now that is, you know, requires you to constantly invest in. And here's just like, but the more you grow, you're not just focusing on growing anymore. You're focusing on maintaining. And it's like sometimes the maintenance is harder than the growth. And so coming out of that, I mean, the day when he said it, I was like, whatever. But no, he was so right.
Yeah.
He was, I think he's more right than he ever knew.
Yeah.
And it's really affected the way I decide what I'm going to take on. Because no, it's not a thought process of whether or not I can do it or I can get to this level.
Right.
It's a thought process of what am I going to have to do to maintain this level.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not ready for that. If I'm being completely honest. Because I know a lot of people have this thought process now where it's like growth by any means necessary. No, sir. Mental health.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Something that you're like.
Fitness. Community. Friendship. Faith. Which one of these am I going to sacrifice a little piece of in order to grow?
Yeah.
Is that growth worth it at the end of the day? You know? And so, I mean, you guys know me. You know there's a lot of things I say no to. You know there's a lot of things that people call me about. I'm going to say,
nope.
And it's not that it's bad, and it's not that it's not going to make a lot of money, or it's not that it's not that it's something that is so far-fetched that would be so difficult to do, but I know what I'm going to have to give up to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that word that he gave me, that he probably didn't know was a word at the time, has really made me way more intentional with my yes. And way more firm with my no.
I think that reminds me of a saying that I heard. Let your no's be easy and the yeses be hard. Make it hard to get a yes, but it can easily say no.
Yeah.
Because you can always go back and be like, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
After you've thought about that.
Not every time though.
Not every time.
Yeah.
Some things if you just leave it alone. But usually when it is that you say yes, you have to commit. you have to follow the plot.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of following the plot, thank you so very much for following the plot throughout the episode, especially through that last segment, because you started to drop some gems, and I'm like, you know. Uh, and thank you guys for following the plot and listening through to the entire episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, follow, like to Koined Insights if it is that you're on the podcast platforms listening. Well, if it is that you're watching, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Koined Digital Studios. You can follow us at Koined Digital on Instagram, and you can follow me at Omari J. Harris on all social media platforms. And Roman Ting, that's Rom X Ting. I make some pretty nice drinks sometimes.
He does. He really does.
And which other people can reach you?
You'd have to follow me. I mean, Omar is probably going to put it in the description anyway. But, I mean, if you go on my page and you're just like, don't bother follow me. It's okay. But my name is Ramon Murray, and Murray Media would love to work with you. That's all I'll say. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time. Subscribing is free. This is awesome content that you're getting for free. So why wouldn't you subscribe? And then you have to like it too, so the algorithm knows that this is good content, because sometimes YouTube takes some time to catch up. So this is your opportunity to help YouTube. Look at that. Wow, you can make a difference on YouTube. Just press that like button. Whoops. All right. Bye, guys.